Ladies and gentlemen, what an exciting day here in the city of Passaic, as we have, and Scott articulated so well, come to the realization of one of the most unique projects, not just in our county, not just in the state of New Jersey, but I would propose to you in the United States of America. We were faced with a very difficult situation with a VFW that unfortunately did not have the funds to keep going. The building was falling apart. It was over 100 years old. We know that this is occurring throughout the state and throughout the nation. Organizations and buildings like this that serve such a vital part of our community. All of us here can express gratitude for the fact that individuals chose to put on uniform and defend our liberties and our freedoms. Individuals that went overseas and came back home and weren't always received in the way that they should have. I want to point to what our original goal was. It was to save the VFW. It was the fact that we did not have the resources. We had countless community meetings. We tried to consider fundraisers, but the truth is this wasn't the kind of issue that was going to be resolved with selling cupcakes or raffles or having tricky trays. Those things are great, but we needed some real green to make this happen. We needed serious partnerships. I remember visiting the site with the press, visiting the site with Minnie, visiting the site with the business administrator, Rick Fernandez, and going up and down. I'm born and raised right here, grew up right across the street from here. What the VFW means to our community, those of us in Passaic, I want to share very candidly. For those of us who did not have money for a repast after a funeral, the VFW said, bring your families here to mourn and to eat and to comfort each other. For those of us children that didn't have a place to go for the holidays, couldn't find where to get candy in a safe way for Halloween or celebrate a Christmas and see someone dressed up as Santa Claus, or different activities to celebrate our culture, who we are, the VFW opened its doors. So the idea that its doors would be permanently closed without us coming together to make sure that that wouldn't happen was unthinkable. I remember walking through here and having conversations with the press. I remember when I served as director of the Passaic County Board of Chosen Freeholders, which is now a Board of Commissioners, and I remember the project that we did to create housing for veterans on top of a commercial building, but it didn't come to pass. God always knows what he's doing. After conversations with members of the press and individuals in the community, we said there has to be something that could be done. And I remembered that project, and in a community meeting at the council chamber, where we had council members there, where we had community leaders, residents and children, where we had veterans, where we had our seniors together. I would love to say that the idea came from one person, but the truth is the very best ideas, the greatest visions come when communities come together to resolve the problem, to face adversities head on and make sure that we can accomplish what others would say is impossible. We came up with the idea of making a partnership. Again, I'll reiterate, one of the most unique projects in this nation, and one that I hope is replicated and is done all over so that more VFWs can survive, so more agencies can survive. Habitat for Humanity came in, as they often do, not wearing a cape, but as superheroes to our community, saying there's a need. Well, let's meet that need and go a little bit farther. Let's provide housing for those who sometimes have adversities and different, because of extenuating circumstances, challenges to get housing. And let's meet that original goal to save the VFWs. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Reverend Louis McDowell. Reverend Louis McDowell, who not only prayed that we would be able to save the VFW, but much like Deputy Mayor Minnie Hiller Cousins, made constant phone calls, sometimes nice and sometimes, you better save the VFW. You better save the VFW. His memory is strong with us, as is the memory of Reverend Sally, who will be installed this Sunday, and all of the members of the faith-based communities around us. To those families who will take up the residential units over the VFW, to those veterans whose presence will continue to mean so very much to all of us, I go back to this. You served our nation, and you continue to serve every day. We owe you a debt that we will never be able to repay. And this in no way is an attempt to do so. But if it can be seen in any way, it is our community saying that you stood strong. You held up those most sacred principles and values of liberty, of freedom, of democracy, of equality, of hope for our children, for for us, for generations to come. And I pray that this building continues to stand long past every one of us, so that that message continues for our children and all generations. Thank you so very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, community, for coming out. Thank you, Habitat, for believing it. But he didn't tell the whole story. He was looking for me with a cake, balloons, because it was my birthday. And I'm looking all around and said, how long was I knocked out? The ceiling fell and hit me. It was a metal ceiling. It actually stuck. And when he came in, I said, I gotta close the post. It's not safe for anyone else. And not one time did the mayor say no. He said, do what you have to do, and I'm here for you. And it takes a team. It takes Habitat. It takes the mayor. It takes me. It takes you. You must never stop serving the community. And then the most important thing for me right now is Mr. Chernin. 97 years old. 98. The senior vice made sure he got a ride up because he had to relocate because of his health. But he tells everybody down there, he gives them a hard time. He said, I'm from Passaic. I'm from Passaic. So I thank all of you today. Where is my commander for here? I'm the district commander. Here is the commander, post 10117. The senior commander, vice commander for post 107. Come on. And the junior vice for post 1007. And I'm sure right now, I'm sure his mother is smiling from heaven because Miss Durham was a community person. And we couldn't do it without Janice. And she was shy, and today's her birthday.
All right.
And all of my family and all that, said, where are you going now? I said, I gotta go. But I thank you, Mayor, for believing in me, making me the deputy mayor. I task all of you to go back to your town and tell them they need a deputy mayor of Veterans Affairs. I call Rick and drive him crazy. Rick, what's going on? When the mayor gives me somebody to call other than him, guess what? I've never had to stop calling him and go call the mayor. He always has the answer. So thank you from my heart and my soul for what takes place today. Thank you.